Welcome back to the Red Rising Recap series, where every video gives you a quick recap of a different book in the Red Rising Saga by Pierce Brown in under 10 minutes. This episode is all about Golden Sun and includes full spoilers for the first two books in the series. I was so wrong. This was even harder to recap than Red Rising. I think because until Lightbringer, this was my favorite book in the series, made it really difficult to determine what's really necessary for you to know going into the next book. But I've tried my best. 2 years have passed since the end of book 1. Darrow is 20, and he and Mustang have dated and broken up in the time since Red Rising ended. The book opens with Darrow, Roke, and Tactus at the Academy, which is basically the space version of the Naval Academy, but more intense and ruthless, where Golds go to learn how to command battleships. Victor O'Julii, the older half-sister of their old classmate Antonia, is also there. Mustang is off doing politics on Luna, and the Howlers have all been stationed out in the Rim near Pluto. Carniso Bologna, Cassius's older, more horrible brother, is also a student, and literally attended just for the chance to take out Darrow. Just when Darrow thinks he's won the final test, Carnis destroys his ship, and Darrow and co barely make it out alive. Following this apparently embarrassing defeat at the hands of his biggest enemies, Nero, Darrow's patron, is getting ready to cut Darrow loose at the urging of his toady Pliny. This essentially would be a death sentence for Darrow, since Nero's name is the only thing keeping him safe from the Bolognas at the moment. Victor arranges for Darrow to meet a new friend who turns out to be the Jackal, Adrius O. Augustus. The Jackal proposes a partnership with Darrow to oust his father from power. Darrow sees this as another potential route to taking down society from within. While meeting with the Jackal, Darrow sees Evie, the pink he met while recovering from being carved. She tries to blow up the Jackal, but Darrow saves him. He then reconnects with Evie and Harmony, who tell him that Dancer's dead and ask him to blow up the Sovereign's upcoming society gala. They convince him to do this by showing him the footage from Eo's hanging, where the audio reveals that she's telling her sister that she's pregnant. They give him a bomb and a detonator to sneak into the gala and blow it up with all of the society leadership in attendance. Darrow drugs Roke to keep him from attending and getting killed. When he gets to the gala, he sees that Mustang is there with Cassius and is pretty beat up about it. He then gives himself a pep talk and decides to start a civil war instead of blowing up the gala. He challenges Cassius to a duel where he reveals that he's been secretly training with the legendary Lorno Arcos this whole time. Darrow kicks Cassius's ass, but the Sovereign stops the duel before Darrow can kill him, changing the rules to suit herself in front of everyone. Shit pops off and people start killing each other. The violence is paused when Fitchner, who's now an Olympic knight, brings Darrow to the Sovereign, who reveals that she was going to allow the Bolognas to kill Nero despite promising Mustang she wouldn't. That night, Darrow is broken out by Severo and the Howlers, who Mustang had sent for. They kidnap the Sovereign's grandson, Lysander, and use him as leverage to get all of House Augustus off Mars, including Mustang. However, during the escape, Aja O'Grimus, another Olympic knight, kills Quinn. During the flight from Luna, Tactus betrays Darrow and steals Lysander to return him to the Sovereign. Darrow and the Howlers pull off the craziest stunt, launching themselves through space into the viewport of one of Society's ships. They capture the ship and rename it the Pax. We meet Ragnar Valaris, a stained obsidian who believes that Darrow, like all Golds, is a god. We also meet Orion, a sassy blue, who Darrow makes captain of the ship. After all the excitement, Darrow and Severo are having a moment, and Severo reveals that Ares came to him and told him about Darrow being red. He has a message from Ares that Harmony is not with the Suns anymore and Dancer is still alive, that the mission is still on, and that Severo will help Darrow from now on. Darrow totally breaks down at having someone know his secret and not being alone anymore. Mustang tells Darrow repeatedly not to trust her brother, the Jackal, which Darrow repeatedly ignores. Roke repeatedly asks Darrow to tell him his plans, which Darrow repeatedly does not do, leading to a rift in their friendship over the course of the book. During this book, we also get to know the Telemanus family, especially Pax's father, Cavax, and his brother, Daxo, as well as Cavax's pet fox, Sophocles. We love them, and they love Mustang like a daughter and sister, and follow her lead in all things. There's also some excellent will-they-won't-they tension between Darrow and Mustang throughout the book, but back to the key plot points. Darrow backs Lorno Arcos into a corner, forcing him to come out of retirement and join the war on their side. Aja and the Bolognas were there laying a trap along with Tactus, but Darrow planned ahead for that and laid his own trap. Lorne kills Tactus after Tactus apologizes to Darrow for betraying him. Augustus's toady Pliny betrays him and stages a coup and allies with the sovereign, capturing Augustus and the jackal. Darrow tells Ragnar that he's really a Red. They defeat Pliny and he's killed. Darrow calls for an iron rain on Mars to retake the planet from the Bellona and rescue Nero. Darrow and the Howlers fall in the rain while Roke and Mustang engage in the space battle above the planet. Darrow has Ragnar and other Obsidians with him. Their suits get taken out by an EMP at one point and they all nearly drown in a stream. When they get out, Darrow gives the Obsidians razors, which is very against the rules, and some of the Howlers are not okay with this. Turns out the Sovereign is on Mars too, and Darrow goes to take her out. Instead, he almost gets taken out, but Fitchner is there and saves him at the last minute after telling him that he was Ares all along. They escape, and Mustang and Darrow have a sexy reunion. Then the Jackal captures Harmony, Evie, and Mickey, and Darrow and Severo have to stage a Sons of Ares breakout to rescue them without the Jackal knowing. Unfortunately, we find out later that Harmony already had given up Darrow, and the Jackal knew the whole time. After rescuing the captured Sons of Ares, and before the big celebration of their victory on Mars, Darrow brings Mustang to the mines of Lycos, where he tells her everything. She doesn't take it the best, but she doesn't kill him. She also doesn't show up to Darrow's triumph, where they honor him for being a big, badass warrior guy. Neither do the Telemanuses or Fitchner, and Severo runs off to find his father. Which is for the best, because the triumph turns out to be a huge trap and lots of people die, including Nero and Lorne. Roke allied with the Jackal and Cassius when he found out Darrow was a Red. Darrow is paralyzed by Roke during the ceremony, Victra gets shot in the spine by her sister, and Darrow is handed a box containing Fitchner's head. And that's literally how the book ends. So now you're ready to jump into Morningstar. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Sharkbait's Bookshelf and subscribe to High Key Obsessed on YouTube to continue with the series.